Hey everyone, welcome back to the Guile treatment. With me as always is Rob. How you doing, Rob? Yeah, he looks
doing all right.
He's doing all right, I guess. We had some stuff go on over the weekend. We had UK Nats.
Just some stuff.
Some stuff. Had some UK Nats. I guess it was really cool that, me and Rob called the eventual winner. How long ago?
It was just us. I don't think anyone else thought that Quan Chi was going to win.
Yeah, I don't think it's just us.
Definitely the dark horse pick there.
Definitely.
I don't know. It was when we did our UK preview show.
Oh, that's right. With Mike and Dan
and Mike Hardiman.
Yeah.
And who was it? Grant? Was he on?
No, Grant wasn't
people,
on.
right?
No, it was just us three. It was
okay.
us and
I got you.
them two.
I was like, there was somebody who wasn't on camera.
Yeah, Grant.
I guess that was Dan.
That was Dan, and then Grant.
Voice only.
Grant was not able to make it because he was at a circus or something. So, yeah, sure.
Cool.
Good going, boy. Good going. Before we hop into that, just a couple things. We have thank you for the subscription drive for the Rockford UFS channel. We hit over 300. We are currently at 320 as of today. We keep growing, which is great. I appreciate it. There's still 2 prizes left unclaimed. I put those up on the Rockford Facebook page. It was a couple foil Fei-Feis and full art Mortal Kombat characters, which is kind of funny with what's going on right now currently. So yeah, you can get those for free. We're keep moving. But yeah, I got a Premier Store event coming up on the 22nd. But this weekend we have the Giant Slamboree, as I've been calling it, in Cincinnati, Ohio, at Mark Wisniewski's place. Me, Sean Bullock, a couple other guys from Indy, I think Dylan and Michael Nelson are all showing up. We're gonna play some UFS, drink, and hang out with Mark and Phil. So it'll be kind of fun. But yeah, Rob's just shaking his head because he wishes he had that type of love.
Oh no, I'm just. God bless Sean Bullock, man.
Oh man, he's talking so much shit. Okay, so
he always does.
He bet me my dog. Okay, I bet him his kid. I was like, Ace for Eli. He hasn't said a word yet, so I'm waiting for him to confirm. So he may be going home childless, and his wife will kill him. And then I'll be bringing back a kid, and my wife will probably kill me. So
there you go. This sounds like a good deal.
I think it's just more fun. And then I think we're gonna fight for tags. Like the Saltier has these things, like they're like ranking points. Like they have like first place, second place. I'm going to beat Sean, take his, and then eBay it. Yep, heard it here first, kids. So you laugh, but you would do the exact same thing, and you know this. You would beat Sean and then just leave.
Yeah, I would just drive all the way back to Baltimore.
Yeah, that'd be a long drive. But anyway.
It's like, what, 8 hours? I'm not doing it.
I have no idea. Is it? Is that how far it is?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I'm only driving 6. That's not that bad.
Nah, I got other stuff this weekend, so.
Because it's your birthday, I heard.
Yeah, I'm old.
Not as old as me, but,
yeah, well,
you know.
That's why you're the dad.
Yeah, that's why I'm the host and you're the talent. So, because I just direct conversation like an adult, and I keep you guys on point. So
not very well.
Not very well, no. We get tangents because Rob is the master of the tangents, we've been told. So, but do you want to start from the bottom and work our way up, or start with first and work our way down?
I don't know if we have to do all of them.
Well, we could say we can just go over.
We can just talk about it. Yeah. So UK Nats, I think they ended up having what, like 46, 47-ish?
Yeah, I think
something like that. Did you watch Top Deck before they went?
No, I didn't. I was at locals.
Cervini had something where he basically said if they hit like 50 or 60 or something like that, he was going to like shave his beard off like live
no
on
way,
like
really?
the next show. And they didn't hit that. I was just like, dude, like
I think
it'll be around 40. Like I was like, if they hit like 50 or like 60, like that'll be pretty surprising. Yeah. But they were close to 50. Mm-hmm. I think they were 46 or 47.
Yep.
No Garrett, so obviously a wide open field.
Yeah, definitely a wide open field. Yeah. Well, they had Kevin, so they had one returning champ, I guess. So
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they had some Jasco people this year, which was cool. Mm-hmm. I think Shane and JT went over, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the first time they've had Jasco people over there ever. I think. Maybe.
I mean, at least maybe for Nats. I would assume somebody's been there at some point, but maybe not.
I know that Joe Hill used to run those, and then Joe kind of quit all that and went to Final Fantasy and did all that, his own thing, and then they didn't really have... Because I know last year the store ran it, right? You were there last year.
Yeah. The store ran it. I think basically, like, they did everything they could, and then if they really had, like, a sticky question, like, I think they would ask, like, Mike or something.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, I mean, they definitely had to call Jasco when they did deck checks and, you know, found an error and had to, you know, consult with them and then regrettably issue a disqualification.
Yeah. But, rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was pretty much like the last one we had until Virginia. So it'd have been good for most of the year.
Yeah, that's not bad though. That's considering that we used to have PTCs every week, where every time you'd have a casualty from the deck check. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the reports basically, like, you know, everyone that I talked to that went had a good time. They enjoyed it. You know, I definitely haven't gone like last year. I would recommend it to anybody. You know, if you think you can swing it. I mean, obviously it's a little expensive to fly over there, but I mean, it's a pretty fun time. I know a lot of them I saw, like, you know, Shane and some of the other guys that were coming back. A lot of them were just like, man, I really wish I had like an extra day or two. Yeah. Because it kind of, you know, that's the thing is like, it's such a long trip and you're jet lagged and like, you know, you're playing in this event, and so you're just beat. And I feel like, I mean, the other thing too is like when you go over there, like you lose at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things too, where you like fly over, and just between like getting to the airport, the flight, and then getting from the airport to wherever you go, I mean, you pretty much lose a day.
Yeah. Well, that's with traveling to anywhere, actually, not even just overseas. Like when we fly to Vegas or to like, you know, or Atlanta for nationals, I usually try to have a travel day and then a normal day just to like hang out.
The thing is, but I'm just saying, like, the thing is like you say, oh, a travel day and like a normal day. Yeah. But the thing is like when you're flying to the UK, I mean, the flight itself basically takes 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, you're losing another 5 for the time change. And then, like, that's not even including, like, you know, the 2 or 3 hours, like, to get to the airport and get through security. And then, like, if you have a layover somewhere, I know when we went, we had to stay in, like, Iceland for about an hour. And then, you know, once you get there, you got to figure out, like, how to get from the airport to, like, your hotel. And, I mean, it literally is, like, a full day of, like, travel. Sure. And then you're just wiped out. Yeah. So even if you sort of go, like, a day early or 2 days early, like, that other day is really just getting your feet under you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just like, it'd be nice to be able to swing a little more time, to just kind of like hang out with some of the people. But then, of course, like a bunch of them are working. So like, it's a little difficult, but it's fun.
Yeah, I've been to the UK once, but it was after high school. I haven't been since, and I would like to go back because it's awesome. And they have really great fish and chips. They're not to just be like, you know, just to say that, but they have really good food over there, which is surprising. So
I mean, they have okay food over there.
Yeah, you know, from what I remember, that was like 20 years ago, though. So you know, I was on my own, you know, backpacking and all that stuff. So whatever. But yeah. So our buddy Mike Hardiman took it down with Quan Chi, or Wan Chi, as I've been calling him, because he's a man of many hats. So off of Life, even though he did splash the Napalm Man.
I mean, I think the Napalm Man is basically just like an auto-include.
Yeah. I was surprised to only see 2, though. Not more. But he was more running off the Spike 2 engine and the Devora engine than he was off the Napalm Man engine. So,
well, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things, like, if you're killing somebody, like, how many Napalm Mans do you really need?
Yeah, especially since he murdered people with Ovipositor. So he really only needed 1, and then just start looping the same one with Spike.
It's more that... You know, I mean, the thing is if you're using, like, Ovipositor, like, you almost want Spike a little bit. Like, if you have 1, you really just kind of need the Spike to keep clearing it, play it again. So
I think he told me in my chat with him and a few other people that he played Ovipositor, like, 7 times in one turn. I think that might have been against him, Keith.
Okay.
I think that he just looped won so many times, and
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I guess he's like kind of interesting too, just because like with his R, he can make the ovipositor for a bit more damage if your opponent starts playing enhances. But yeah.
But
I mean, it certainly sets you up for some stuff, and then obviously with like ace maneuvers, if you like clear some stuff, it comes in. You know, that comes in for a bunch.
Yep, he was running a nice brutality, but he wasn't trying for like the win. But I think that was more for like the breaker 3 block, because that's just a pretty good block in its own right. Someone mentioned that he was playing for Spiders and Dragons. Someone, I think it was Rick Bergreen, said that Quan Chi shares 2 symbols of the top 10, like 6 of the top 10 most played cards in Top Cuts of this year so far.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like a weird list though. Yeah. So I presume that of some of the cards he's playing, I mean, it's going to be Spiders, it's going to be Revoke, it's probably Urban Shower, probably like whatever the spam for Gabrick is.
Moral Knowledge,
but yeah,
it just seems kind of funny that, you know. But
it's just sort of like, hey, I shared 2 symbols with Spike 2. Yeah, has Spike 2 done anything? Are his attacks getting run?
Nah.
Okay. Spike 2 was Death Spike running a bunch of that stuff too?
Spike 2 hasn't done anything. What are you talking about? He's done nothing. He was running My Blood Flows Through You, which is cool, because that was some character hate that I had been running, and I was talking to him because I asked him if he was running it, and I don't know if he was running it at the time, but I had been talking about it with him lately, prior to all like the Mortal Kombat, after like Mortal Kombat dropped. So not that I'm taking credit for that, but Mike probably thought of it on his own, and then it's just neat to see certain cards run by other people that I run too. So, you know,
I mean, I had
hopefully it makes me feel like I'm going in the same direction.
After like Street Fighter came out, the one PTC we had that in like a sideboard of like that Fireman deck.
Oh sure.
And I think it was mostly just for like Zangief.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, that card was like bad. But I guess like maybe with like Spike 1 and like Quan Chi and some of them, like it's a little more reasonable now. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better to have some character hate than none at all. Yeah. So
because he wasn't off symboling Bang. He didn't even have it in his sideboard, so he had no real character hate. So that allowed him to have character hate.
I don't really know how much his attack lines up with that. So
no.
I mean, he definitely has some things that have death, but I mean, Ovipositor doesn't chain with Bang. So
Dagger Strike does. Hand Cannon does. I know.
Dagger Strike has air, but Quan Chi doesn't have air.
Oh, that's true, yeah. My bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Boy.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, honestly, like, of the rest of these decks, I guess the ones that were interesting, I mean, the Vega, I mean, we've seen Vega do a lot, but this is like a very aggressive build. It's very different from like some of the other Vegas that we've seen top.
22 attacks.
I mean, we've seen sort of like an air, like flash build do stuff. I mean, I think we've seen like some death weapons. Yep. We had like the death kicks that like I played in Rockford with like a bunch of self-destructs. More recently, William in Virginia, I mean, he was running an evil list, and it was very much like control and defensive. And this has just like a touch of that, but is mostly just, you know, going to start like attacking you on 2. It's got a bunch of like 3 diff stuff. And, you know, just like I think Kevin sort of said like it's Flameport Vega. You know, just like he's going to throw that, and he's going to burn himself for a little bit. It's like 4 damage if you don't block it, and if you do block it, he just like gets momentum and does whatever he wants to do with the rest of his turn. So I mean, a pretty good amount of bad checks, right? I mean, he's got 4 Coffee Sambas, 3 Time Slows, Princess Perry. So I mean, you're talking at least 5 1-checks and 3 2s. But obviously, like, Evil has tons of spam that is great. So you can really afford, like, honestly, I feel like at this point, if you're running Evil and you're not at least packing like a decent amount of 2-checks, like I can kind of understand if you're not like totally on board with like Princess Perry or Coffee Samba or like some of the 1-checks. That's the kind of thing where, you know, I mean, if you chick a 1 on like your first or second card and like you didn't have like, and you played like a little greedy, if you're just like, I can probably pass this too, right? And you just fail your first card, like you pretty much lost the game right there.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, yeah, for sure.
But like, if you if you want to run a ton of twos, like you're probably okay. Yeah. I mean, it can make some attack strings hairy, but like you really don't have to worry about your build.
True.
Because of the zero diffs that Evil has.
For the Slamboree this weekend, I put together a sheep man off of Evil for Kirk Polka, who's going to show up, and it plays Copy Samba, but it runs.
Is that a charge, a breaker, or a stun? I guess it becomes stun.
It becomes stun, so you could get +2/+2 on that. But I was thinking about putting in. I don't have time slows in there yet, but I was thinking about putting time slow in there just to get super greedy with the deck because it's a charge.
See, I don't know why you wouldn't just build an order with like
because
Vicinity Blast and like Electric Fly.
Just because I have all my Evil stuff sitting on my table really readily, and I don't really feel like grabbing all that stuff. But yeah.
Who wants to run like 10 damage pokes?
But,
what is it? Electrocute, right? Is that the throw?
Oh, it's like a 5/5. Ooh, okay, cool. I think we're gonna have to change that up then because that sounds way more fun. But it plays a fair amount of like zeros and ones in it, just because even with just the 4/1 checks in it now, I run and plus the spam in Evil isn't low class; it's very good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 revokes. You have like. Honestly, you probably have 3 or 4 really playable zero diffs, and then you have a ton of good 1 diffs now. So
like, you're running that one vicious 0 diff just because it's just ridiculously good. Fallen Angels, Debt to be Paid's really good. That Molina card's not bad. It's a 6 check with a 0.
That one's all right. The 0 diff for Katana's really good too, though.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy's really good. And then her 1/5 where you pay 3 flip draw card. That's combos really well with Merciless Master, so and then the Vicious 1/6, the Desperation flip draw card, ranging a deal. Yeah, they got a lot of good ways to cycle back momentum on top of your deck to just draw and keep attacking. So which is what your Iceman did a bit, right? Did you do that a bit with your Iceman?
I didn't have too many ways to draw. I probably should have. But it was more just about like multiples.
Okay,
just cheating momentum and stuff. I guess the other big one that I liked was the Rio's deck, the Earth Goro.
Yeah.
I think the singles version was sort of like the rough version. We haven't had the teams list posted, but it sounded like a bunch of them kind of like tweaked because they have teams after singles. So I think a bunch of them kind of tweaked their decks based on the feedback they got during singles.
Yeah, I heard about that about Oliver's deck. Like they went back in and just overhauled Jackie a bit just to make her a little more streamlined.
But honestly, like the thing I like about his deck is pretty much every Goro that I've seen to this point. I mean, definitely the ones I've played against are just on fire.
Yeah.
And, they're very much just about, like, playing a bunch of attacks, like, early, Punch and Judy, missile launchers, punch walks, like, whatever they can get their hands on, like, Shokan grab. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think he was running a single Goro attack.
Nope.
I think he had punch walks in his board, but like he wasn't running grab, he wasn't running stomp. I mean, the thing is the only Goro attack that I probably run. I mean, if you want to run punch walk, you can run punch walk. I mean, 1 checks and a 4-hander, like okay.
Shokan grab's like his best attack.
That's what you want to do.
I believe.
But grab would be like the one that I would probably look at.
And I don't think it has a block, right?
So it does not.
No. That could have been a reason for him not to play.
It could have been. So,
but I know that he was talking on the Discord about how it's more of like a control-y type build. Like he was trying to like slow the game down a bit just so he could, maximize Shokan prints out because that card's really good.
Right. I mean, so that's the thing is, so he was basically, I mean, you can see like the 4 Woodman's Leaf Shield, sliding ankle breaker to gain life. I guess, does he have any check? He's running missile launchers.
Yeah. Okay. I know that he said those two.
I figured maybe he would be running suplex, but I guess he went for ankle breaker instead.
I know
probably just because it's safe.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He said that he would try to lead with a safe attack if his opponent was more apt to reverse him or not, just so he can just dump on him later.
I gotcha. But and then obviously like 4 Shokan prints, and he's running the big cyclones, running the leaf shields. I think this is really just kind of like a grinding deck. Goro can obviously like set up his hand however he wants to, like after pretty much like turn 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, I heard a lot of people who played him that were just like, yeah, once he got like 3 copies of Shogun Prince out, like,
It was over. Yeah. I
Plus he
do
has the
like
missile launchers too, so if you
yeah.
try to like build into deadlock,
Yep.
you can get like really punished for doing that as well.
The
I mean,
spinning,
right? Like, can you imagine if you're like in deadlock and like, your opponent just picks up like three missile launchers?
yeah,
Like,
you're dead after like the first one. It's just not even funny. I really liked the 2 spinning pile driver because that card's awesome. I love SPD. Plus with Goro, he can just recur it instead of putting it. If he has Surveyor out, he can grab it, or he can just grab it with Goro every turn and just keep flipping your board. And that's what a 0-8 damage attack with Goro.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good.
And the thing is too is right, and it lets you like gives you some foundation control, which I think is important.
Which Earth lacks big time. They don't have a lot of foundation control.
Yeah, I mean they have the War for Armageddon. I don't think he was running that. Yeah. But.
Does Commander Outworld Armies flip anything, or is it flip for cost? I forget.
I honestly don't know which one of Goro's foundations are which, other than Victory Pose. He has one that's basically tough as bricks, where after you take like 4 damage, I think you basically like target flip something.
That's it. That's the one. That's Commander.
I don't remember if it's a flip or a commit or what it is.
Yeah, it's our flip. After you take 4 more damage from an unblocked attack, flip one of your opponent's foundations.
And the next thing gets minus 2.
And it has a breaker 1 with a high block with a +3 mid, I think. Yeah, +3 mid breaker 1. So
okay, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely like pretty interesting deck. It's pretty small too, like 63 cards. Yeah. I know when he was playing in teams, like I think he was playing a Quan Chi, and he got 4 copies of he got all 4 copies of Shogun Prince out.
God, that's so bad.
Basically, like I think he had Surveyor as well, and he was basically just like recycling the same throw. He wasn't even using Goro's E. Because he didn't want to cycle. He wanted access to his discard pile like every turn.
Yeah,
and so he was basically just like throwing 1 attack, like building like 1 or 2 or whatever, and then pass and have like holding like a couple, I guess, like decent blocks. Maybe like a cyclone, maybe I don't know, whatever else. Right? Maybe he was just holding like a stop and a big cyclone or something.
Yeah.
So like definitely interesting. And having played against Goro, like he could definitely bring the damage. It's just sort of about how it's gonna fit in.
Yeah.
So, definitely a different take.
I know he was talking about the Hellgate Executioner as like his Quan Chi hate in a way, or like just response hate, because you drop that and they're burning for 4, I think, for every response.
Yeah.
Is it an additional cost, or after it's additional cost?
Yep.
You can see that we have not played a lot of Hellgate Executioner around Rockford. So even though I know that card's really good, just never have done it. So.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's definitely a good Quan Chi answer. I mean, it's okay against Vega as well. Like Vega's static will still get you, but he certainly isn't going to commit to give you a check -4 and burn 4.
Yep.
Like. I mean, the thing is, against like a 7-hander with a response, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, you can play that response like 2 or 3 times, and then you're dead. Like,
because he's just gonna chuck your ass into the sun anyway. So if you don't have an answer for it.
And that's the thing is, like, it's got deadlock, like stun 4,
powerful
or something.
4 has powerful 4 on it too, right?
It just has powerful 4 printed.
Yeah. Then
so,
it can
be a bazillion damage. Yep. It's pretty fast. I think it's 5 high for 6.
Yeah. I think
like so. It's a good attack. It doesn't have a block, which kind of sucks, but whatever.
I know it's like a 5.
Everything else is good.
I know it's a 5/2. I almost forgot. I forgot the name there for a second.
I mean, the other thing, obviously, like I would say the deck that was sort of the talk of the tournament.
It's a 5 high for 6. Yep, you're right.
The deck that was probably the talk of the tournament was the Castle Cage.
Yeah.
Michael Murray, who I believe was one of the Scots that came down.
Yep, one of the Scotland players came down.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, I sort of heard these stories from people that were like, oh, man, like, he blocked me with, like, Showoken and, like, shut off my entire deck for a turn.
Yeah.
Or, he had, like, people were just like, yeah, he's got, like, all these high seas adventures. And, like, I sort of, like, kept hearing these, like, snippets here and there. And I was like, man,
me too.
Like, can't wait to like see this list and just figure out like what it's doing. And I gotta say, like, seeing the list, it's a little bit just like, okay. I mean, the numbers are pretty refined.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's definitely put time into this deck.
Yep.
With the foundations, I mean, I think he's running 3 alpha male.
Yeah.
So between the alpha males and KCZ, I feel like you get like a pretty good dig. So like it's okay to have all these like 2-ofs and 1-ofs, just because like eventually you'll probably find the stuff that you want.
Yeah. Sure.
He's got 4 of like the important things, like the Sense of Morals and the Season Guide, and also 4 Shadow Inheritance, which I think is kind of like a good meta card. It's one of the few things that I think you can really give you some game against like Liu Kang. Because there's not a lot. If Liu Kang starts messing up your card pool, like you're not going to be blocking a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have like 2 Shadow Inheritance out, you can pretty much like block one thing like normally.
Yeah.
And then you pretty much have like 2 free blocks with Shadow Inheritance.
Oh, definitely.
It's like +3 to your check for each card in your pool.
It's -3 to your block mod.
Okay. I mean,
it's basically the same thing. Yes. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's awesome. So, and the other thing too is that it has a Cassie that's like it's +1 speed or +1 damage for each like non-attack.
It's
but the thing is it has an R, which is your opponent's block mod gets like minus or +1 for each non-attack in your card pool. I don't know why you would ever use the speed.
Yeah, you never.
It seems like you would just hold it, and if they try to block, then you make their mod harder, and it's basically like it's pretty much speed, but like it's harder to interact with. Like, I don't know. It's sort of one of those things. Like you look at it, and I mean, I guess the whole point was it was just Cassie Z again, but there really doesn't seem like you would ever use it for the speed.
I'm surprised to see that he had more throw it downs than not over yet, personally. But I get throw it downs more versatile, like defensively and offensively, but it just seems like throw it down. I guess I'm more. I play a Turbo Man meme deck that's basically Cassie stuff with him.
That was sort of the next thing. Is so like I've played a little bit of like a Cassie. Like I played a Cassie deck that was just sort of a rough deck.
Yeah.
And it was in that same vein. It was just like a bunch of power flips. Like effectively, it was a Turbo Man deck with Cassie fronting it, and it wasn't good. But stuff that I noticed just like playing a couple games with it is I feel like you can very easily play like 1 or 2 attacks that are really big or really fast. Like seeing the 3 glow kicks, like that was a card that, I don't know totally how I feel about it. Like I don't think it's like amazing, but it's one of those things where I sure had like an opponent that was at like 3 or 4, and I just played like not over yet and like 3 foundations and played a glow kick and then used Cassie Z to put another foundation in and then stacked the deck to reveal another one with glow kick and then gave it like 20 speed or something. Like it was just one of those things where it's like if you get them close, like they're dead.
Yeah.
Unless they have like a speed reset or something, but if they do that, like obviously you don't go through all those hoops. But like she has sort of like interesting game. It's just kind of like, I don't know. She's still a little weird. I feel like looking at this list a bit, like it reminds me of playing like all Yamato and not like totally in on like the Wheel and Steel stuff, but some of the craziest things like Yamato could do is like if you throw like just turn 2 and you just do like throw it down into
baby spear?
Into Yamato Spear.
Yeah.
And then you like, commit and ready something with like Yamato Man, and it's just like
that's a 10.
This is a 10 mid for 10.
Yeah. And
unless they have like a way to like again like reset the speed or like a a dodge or like something like that, like they're gonna probably take that.
Whoa,
like,
wait a minute. Nobody plays dodge in this format.
I know.
Sir.
Well, Deliverance, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, basically, it's just like they're probably not playing anything that's going to block it.
No, they won't. No.
And then of course it'll draw you a card because it'll throw it down.
Yep.
And so I think this was very much a deck that would, like I haven't seen any of the videos. I assume he was on camera a lot.
Just I hope so because I may watch 1 or 2 to see because hearing like him taking down Quan Chi, him taking down all he's Swiss champ, and it's just. Wow.
Just looking at the list, my impression is very much that he came to like play like a little bit of like annoying defense, like looking at his foundations.
Yeah.
Just some good meta answers. I mean, obviously like Bebop Blues, High Seas Adventure.
Rhythmic.
Like that's. I feel like that's a little bit more like throws or like messing up combos.
Well, you're gonna have to think you're gonna face Liu Kang or Goro or someone who's gonna have some type of big throws. So that's.
But I mean, the big thing, right? It's more just like Shadow Inheritance, Sense of Morals, and like some of the other stuff. Was he? So he was what on all?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if. I mean, even something like Secret History, like that's another way to like tap a character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was sort of something where it's like plays like a little bit of like sneaky defense. I mean, obviously Showoken as well. Yep. And my suspicion is that he would probably throw like 1 to 2 attacks, like maybe or maybe like throw an attack on like turn 2 or turn 3, and kind of do it in a way where he would build for the turn, play an attack, preferably something like Akimbo or Nutcracker that's going to like draw him a card.
Yeah.
Or even like Glow Kick. I mean, that can draw you a card.
Mm-hmm.
And just put a ton of stats on it and like just soften you up with a couple big pokes. Or the thing is like if you commit to like blocking one of those and you just sell out,
then
you're really hoping that like he doesn't have like throw it down like Curse Black, Flat, something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you do something like that, like you're probably just gonna die.
I know that
like you have no way to block.
They posted some turn of his where it was like 12 cards in the card pool because he was able to do like all the non-prog. I think he went Not Over Yet, a bunch of non-prog attack, like throw it down, Kersplat, something, and then like Shohoken or whatever. And it's just like, holy shit. I sell out for the meme in my Turbo Man deck. I just try to go for that turn 1 power.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff, the thing is like, just having played that deck, like that's probably not what you want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was surprised that Cassie did well, I guess. But sort of like looking at the deck, it kind of just seems like one of those things where it's like he came to play some defense.
Yeah.
And I think that there's decks out there that like really aren't
prepared
that way. Like basically just aren't in a good position. Like if you start getting to like turn 4, turn 5.
Yeah.
Or like, turn 5, turn 6. And the thing is too is like, if you sell out to try to kill him and you don't, and like he can backswing you.
Oh yeah, she can put crazy numbers on shit. That's for sure.
So yeah, I mean that's the thing is, I mean I'll probably like put this together and try it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say those are my like suspicions.
Yeah.
I feel like the other thing too is, something that people were talking about when they were saying that he was running like Showoken, and like I feel like that card is like kind of a half joke. Where it's like it's really strong. It was a great answer for things that you can now do with like hand cannon.
Yeah.
But the issue always with like Showoken is like the stats are just bad.
Yeah.
It's like a 5 diff, like 2 or 3 low for like 5. Like the damage is okay, the speed sucks. But if you have somebody like Cassie, I mean she can kind of run it with like a straight face. I mean it's a low zone, so like it shares with like Nutcracker.
Yep.
And, with some of the, like, things like Not Over Yet and Kersplat, like, you can throw it late in the chain and just, like, stack, like, damage on it, like, on your turn. And I feel like you could probably get away with, like, 2 main.
Yeah.
And then, like, another one on the side.
He did 1 and 1, I think, right?
Yeah, he was 1 and 1. That was the thing. Is I assumed that he was, like, doing something crazy and running, like, 3 or 4 of it.
Yeah,
just because
by the way people were talking about it, I thought he was playing at least 3.
Everyone was just talking about, man, like, you just blocked Showoken and just crushed my turn. Just like Quan Chi.
Yeah.
Like, that, I guess, like, that's the advantage that Showoken has over...
hand cannon.
Hand cannon? Is hand cannon, like, Quan Chi can still remove stuff for his, like, response. Or for his enhance. They can still remove things for cost. For instance, like Avipositor, if you wanted to play it from your discard pile, like you could do that through hand cannon, but you couldn't do that through like a Showoken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, just kind of an interesting deck, like a definitely unexpected. I mean, Cassie was certainly a disrespect character before this. Like it's a little bit, I guess, like the Asimov and Katarina thing with like games bringing that out. Just looking at this deck, like you can tell that a lot of like thought was went into it, and definitely tuning. So
yep,
interesting. Not as crazy as I expected, but I feel like I kind of get the sense about like why it worked.
Yeah.
And it'll sort of be interesting to see, you know, whether he continues to show up going forward.
Do you think like this is the path of what most mid-range decks are going to look like now, where they play some pretty good defense and then they're just going to
I don't know. I mean, the thing is like, so here's the thing: is like the advantages of Cassie for like this deck specifically is she can run 4 Shadow Inheritance with a straight face.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if all you're getting out of Shadow Inheritance is the R. I don't know how many other decks like the thing is like sure that's like basically it's a sideboard card for like a Liu Kang matchup.
Yeah.
But you know, there's not a lot. I mean, maybe like Yellow Devil or something. Like I don't really know who's running it. Just to be like, well, I can like increase their block mod for each non-attack in my card pool. Yeah. Like that's sort of like one of her biggest advantages is being able to run that because she can just pump damage as well, and she's already kind of running in a way that's going to like clog up her card pool.
Mm-hmm.
But then that, and then again, somebody that can kind of like run Showoken with a straight face.
Yeah.
They're basically Showoken and Shadow Inheritance are probably the 2 cards that this deck can run better than other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would kind of look at. I mean, I guess if anything, and this is something I feel like maybe we should do a deeper dive in at some point, is this is a deck that I feel like predicted the meta pretty well, or you know, or at least to some degree, where you know, between I guess like that's what I'm saying. Like I almost wish that it had like a few more Showokens. Is like that's a card that just like really shuts down Quan Chi, which everyone sort of talked about as being this like monster of the format.
Yeah.
And obviously, right, shuts down Quan Chi, shuts down like Spike 2 as long as he doesn't like just attack you low, which was kind of how he would get around it.
Yep.
I'm trying to think about like other stuff that comes like from the discard pile, and then obviously like just again the Shadow Inheritance for Liu Kang, and you know sort of can't stress enough that Liu Kang is sort of an outlier in the lack of hate for the way that he is going to attack.
Well, Showoken stops Liu Kang too because you discard the top cards of your deck to get that attack, so you can't get that attack back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he can still clog your pool.
Oh yeah, he can. Oh, definitely, for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's better than you know if he's clogging your pool and you're only eating 2 or 3 attacks than like 6 that you could. Right. So, which is fine. So, I guess that's fine.
It can buy you a turn. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. You know, you eat 3 instead of 6. That's just fine. Whatever.
That's great.
No, trust me.
Sign me up.
It's fantastic. Because all I know is that playing Liu Kang against people, people get a little salty. Especially when you jam like 7 cards in their card pool on turn 2.
I mean, I played a Liu Kang and I had 13 cards in my card pool.
Oh, that's pretty. That's a win right there. I haven't hit that many yet. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
I kind of want to touch on the Jackie deck a bit.
Okay.
Let me get to it. It was played by Oliver Hill, Joe's brother. I guess Oliver kind of came out of retirement a bit. I guess unless he's been playing with Dan and Rio. He kind of played a split symbol Aaron Life build. I don't know. Like there hasn't been a lot of I know Jeremy Ray was high on her.
What is it? It's just kind of like Life.
I think it's like. Let's see, man.
I mean, it's
has spiders, has 8K.
Well, he's running like a Fids.
Yeah.
He's running like Iron Will. That's the one that gives speed, right?
Yeah. Iron Will is the one with the speed.
Okay. I mean, this is a little more split than I thought.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Astronomy Tower's only air.
Like Ageless and Wise is in there.
Yep.
He ran the hot Kenzuki Dojo in the sideboard and a Mexican Typhoon.
The hot Kenzuki. The hot Astronomy Tower main board.
I heard that he sideboarded Tech Spheres for the Fatality matchups. So I know that I think he did it in teams, or someone did it to him where they Fatality his air ground smashes, and then he just went Tech Sphere, copy that, and it's just like,
yep.
value.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty sweet. It's good thinking ahead. It's good thinking ahead. Yeah. But because Jackie was something that, as of a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about, because we haven't really touched on her here in Rockford yet, and I think that would be something neat to do, just to play her and see how she works and all that stuff. And I know Jeremy Ray was really high on her coming out of Worlds. He also, and I quote Thomas Gordon, he put Liu Kang 6th on his MK rankings. So Jeremy Ray may not.
When was this?
This was right after Worlds, I think. He rated Liu Kang like 6th.
To be fair.
Yeah, I know.
Right after Worlds, you didn't see his support. You didn't see Yin Yang.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I know. But it's just kind of funny looking back, you know? And everybody knew that Quan Chi was busted. So Quan Chi didn't need support because he doesn't. So, but no, you know, he ran the astronomy tower, which was kind of neat. I've never seen that run on a list whatsoever, ever.
It's not that good.
I know, but it just flips stuff. It has a flip cost, right? Which is
you can I think it's form flip.
Yeah.
And basically every single foundation and asset that's in play with a flip cost, it just flips right away. And then I think it has something where it's after they play a keyword ability, it's an R 5+ or something that they flip a foundation.
Oh, sure.
It's just something that's it's funny. I mean, I often just sort of have it as a maybe include because I feel there's gotta be sometimes where, you know, when they're man, my opponent has 3 overly dramatics out, and you're just well, just flip them all. I mean, it's just a beefed up silence, but it's just kind of one of those things where it's really not worth the slot.
Oh, true.
Maybe in a one of in an Earth Vicious or something, but
yeah, I don't know. I just thought I just liked it. I liked the deck. I want to see it in action because I hope he may be on camera. And I think him and Thomas were top tables at the final round of Swiss, I believe, right?
No,
I know
Thomas played
who did he play?
Cassie.
Oh, okay, my bad then. All right then. But yeah, I really love to see the deck in action. But I know they end up refining it. I know the teams list is the updated version. So
so he was in finals of teams, but he wasn't the one that was on camera. I don't believe.
No. Okay. Alrighty. Unfortunately. Yeah. He was running 2 quick burst, or no, single barrel. Single barrel is the one that people who are running off symbol cards hate. So, that I wonder how often that got people.
You know what? It looks like he wasn't running hand cannon in this. Maybe that was something that changed. Maybe they ran hand cannon in the teams list.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if they kept it till no, I think it would have to stay off of could it go air and I'm just trying to I think I'm interested to see if he either went air or life. Because if he went life he could have gone puppet cannon, which
I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see the list soon.
Which I thought they would have put them up the same day, but I forgot that they always like to space.
I mean, the thing
is
you have 8 singles lists and you have 12 teams lists because they're putting up top 4, so it's just a lot of work.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, because So congrats to Oliver piloting Jackie. So look out for her because I'm pretty sure people are going to start playing her because she just dumps damage on people.
Mm-hmm.
And I want an Urban Shower reversal powerful 1 billion people just because.
If you're doing air, just make sure you run the what's it called? It's one of the Lord Raptor foundations where after you play a powerful ability, you flip it.
Oh yeah.
And it gets damage equal to the powerful rating plus 1.
And then it also has
powerful for 1 for +6, and then flip it for another +7. So you just throw 13 on it.
Is that the one where you can commit your powerful attack gets +2 speed as well?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called. I played that in my Robert deck when I was playing at Worlds 2 years ago.
There you go. You're familiar with it.
Yes, I know what it is. Yeah, I think it has a high block too, which is kind of random. So, what else? Dan Austin placed with Cole Khan off of life, and he kind of went off the beaten path though. He had Kiko Show, he had Vengeance, he had attacks that were more than 3 in his deck.
I mean,
which is kind of weird.
What's bad about playing Vengeance, making it a throw, and then making it
12 billion damage?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. I just thought it was interesting. That's all. He was running Moment Slice, which is kind of neat, because you would make your first attack throw, and then obviously it would hit, and then you put Moment Slice to commit a card, or most likely their character.
Yep.
And then I know that he was playing.
I mean, the thing is too is Moment Slice is 3 damage, so I mean, all of a sudden when it's like
it's a
5 mid for 7,
5 mid 5 7,
5 mid for 7 like Kuga, it's pretty good.
He was running 3 Surge Snake, but no Swordfish Gunfire in his deck.
Okay.
Which I thought that would be a really nice card to have, because you get 2 momentum off of that.
Mm-hmm. Was he running the Spike Foundation though, like finding what was lost or whatever it's called?
No.
Okay.
No, he was not.
Right.
Wasn't even in the sideboard. He did side 2 Soul Trap though. 2 Soul Trap.
I don't know how many people find reversals these days.
Not a whole lot. But people do play Princess Parry, so
it's true.
You could do that.
I've seen a Princess Parry get soul trapped, and then the soul trap get Princess Parry. Yeah.
That's gotta be kind of hype though. If that, well, were you the one who got soul trapped into Princess Parry? Oh, okay. I think that'd be kind of hype. Tim Keefe plays with an Earth Jet, which it's Earth Jet. We've seen Jet top a million times, and there's not much different other than that he's punching people in the balls this time. What else we got here? Vega, we talked about that. Liu Kang just did a bunch of stuff.
So I guess that's sort of the other story, I guess, right?
Yeah, Liu Kang.
So this Liu Kang, so he was on fire. It was I think it was sort of a refined version of like the list that was played in Alberta. I guess like I'm getting like some sort of slightly conflicting reports. So I heard on the one hand that this was like a deck that's sort of like a list that Garrett put together. Mm-hmm. But I also heard that like Mike Hardiman like put it together. I don't know if they changed anything or if he was just the one that had the cards and he put it together and gave it to Nathan.
Yeah.
But noticeably absent from Fire Liu Kang is any way to deal with Quan Chi.
Yes.
And on top of that, this was sort of this is a list where the death and water builds can run like Neurophatica and some other stuff that's like bigger than 3 damage. Mm-hmm. And additionally, like Neurophatica is really nice. It can help if your opponent's playing like Puppeteer and like Hand Cannon. You can clear it out of the pool. It just has some other things. Like you get a little foundation hate. Yep. You can run Hunt for Spires and Dragons. Yep. I mean, there's a list of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that in some ways, like the ceiling of the fire build is higher because, you can just rip into some attacks, like stack some checks. I mean, windmill punch, like Punch and Judy. Yeah. I mean, you can like rip through your deck.
Oh, the explosiveness it's much more explosive than the water and the death build for sure.
The fire build, I feel like you can kill somebody on like turn 2 way easier than on like water and death.
Yes, you can.
But I feel like the water and death might be a bit more well rounded and especially better equipped to deal with like Quan Chi.
Yep.
So, in the final round of the tournament, Mike Hardiman was matched into Nathan, and I don't know what they did with their game, but Thomas Gordon was also playing Liu Kang off, I believe, water.
Yeah, it was water.
And he ended up drawing against the Cassie Cage, and that allowed Mike to give Nathan the win, which let him edge Thomas Gordon on points and go into second place. And Mike, this is sort of like just luck, ended up in 6th, which meant that the only way that the two of them would play would be in finals.
Sure.
And so Mike ended up, I don't know who he played the first round. I know the second round he played the Cassie, who had beaten him in Swiss, but he got sort of like the run back, probably got a little more experience against the deck. Nathan proceeded to destroy Tim Keefe,
Yeah.
Tim Keefe was basically just like, well, I just lost to Liu Kang in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And played a, just slobber knocker match against Kevin Broberg's Vega, where I think that was like 2-1, but it was basically a bunch of like 2-turn, 3-turn games or whatever. They were just like beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And set up the finals of Hardiman versus this deck. And I know Hardiman won 2-0. I don't know how easy the games were, but again, like I just sort of we talked about like the absolute just like galaxy brain strats of going, I could win, like again, I don't know if they played, but it's like, well, if we draw or I win, this Liu Kang isn't going to make tops.
Yep.
And the other Liu Kang will, which is not on fire.
Yep.
So, it could have like novitiates,
Bang.
It could have like other stuff.
Yep.
It could have bang. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is like this deck doesn't have bang.
Yep.
Doesn't have novitiate.
Yep.
Doesn't have.
Doesn't have anything to deal with it. Doesn't even have
really,
saw blades.
Even like saw blades, yeah. Like even in the sideboard, doesn't really have any way to deal with Quan Chi. And the thing is, like Liu Kang, when he's running a bunch of like 3 damage moves, like he plays like his enhance to dig. That's making your attack 2 damage. He plays like he cancels out any of your like greatest combatants.
Yeah. It's
like
just
Spaceland does nothing.
When
Redeemed Rogue is like +1 instead of +2, and like any ease on your attacks, like everything is just -1 damage, -1 damage, -1 damage.
The first time I built Liu Kang was off of fire, and I got trounced by the local Quan Chi that's not even really that refined or good, and it's just I need to do 3 enhances per attack to do anything. And I was like, and I talked to you about it, and you're like, well, just don't enhance. And I'm like, well, I have to, or I have no turn. He's like, then you're like, is Saw Blades rotated? And then that's where it was like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about Saw Blades, and I did it on I'll link my Liu Kang Fire list, which isn't as good as this one, but it does have Saw Blades in it. That, maybe because he's running big shots, maybe that's why he wasn't running it main board, but sighted at least.
I mean, that's the thing too, is like, the other thing too is, I mean, between Windmill Punch, Liu Kang's Fireball, Bicycle Kick, and Rekaken, he has, 13 of his 18 attacks will chain water. So it's like, just put like a couple bangs on the side, maybe like put in like 2 bangs, side out, like 1 punch, 1 Judy.
Yeah. Or
like something like that. Like, it's kind of one of those things where, you talk about metagaming, and I guess you can do like the Tim Keefe strat of, man, I hope I don't play this deck, and be world champion.
Yeah, that's true.
But something like that. It's like, I don't think that you want to basically have like a borderline punt matchup against what is considered like top 2 or 3 deck in Standard, which is Quan Chi.
He's probably
that's top 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah,
I guess deck. And I think Fire Liu Kang kind of does. I mean, that's the thing is like Punch and Judy. I mean, if you play both of them, like you're getting +3 speed, +1 damage.
Yeah.
It's just so many like small damage buffs, and like anything, like if it's like a life Quan Chi, I mean, he's gonna have Immortal Knowledge. He might have Portal Barrier. He might have like 8,000 degrees. And like you're really just putting yourself in a position where you need to hit him like 7 times with no blocks to kill him.
That also doesn't count any life gain that he has, because he's going to have Devoras in his deck. He's going to have maybe Templars, maybe other things.
Devora, Dimitri, probably going to be running Urban Shower. Like, I think Mike was running like 1 copy of Skull.
Yeah, he ran 1
I'm
Skull.
pretty sure it gains 2 life.
He also had Templar in his deck too. So and Kersplat, he's running Kersplat too. So he had a lot of life gain in that deck. So it's just you need something to deal with it. And Fire, the only way Fire has is Saw Blades. That's it.
I mean, he had some like fatalities on the side, I guess, which like maybe you can try to remove like the characters, but I just don't think that's really going to get you there.
I find it's better to remove the attacks, because if you can't fish for attacks, then who cares if he just gets characters? Who cares?
Well, but that's the thing too is, I guess, but then that's the thing too is like,
ooh, nice job. Did you get it?
I think so.
Oh, nice.
But the Quan Chi, I mean, also Michael's, I believe, running like Puppet Cannon.
Yeah.
So like Quan Chi, like Liu Kang's not even going to be able to like dig for his attacks.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's what happened in the 2-0s where he hit Puppet Cannon very early, and it was just it was over.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just sort of like, as I was sort of joking, I was like, well, you know, if we look, I'm not super familiar with like the Mortal Kombat lore, especially like the newer games.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, like, you know, obviously Quan Chi's like the evil sorcerer. He's sort of like, I guess like the sub boss now with like.
He's like the Shang Tsung in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
To you know,
Shao Kahn.
He like basically has like his like revenants.
Yep.
And one of which is like Liu Kang now. So, you know, I was like, you know, this is just Quan Chi sitting back and going, you know, we got all these like Earth Realm Americans, you know, invading my tournament, and you know, I'm gonna get the right Liu Kang in there for me.
Yep.
He'll wipe them out.
Yep.
And then I'll see him in, you know, at the end of the tournament, and you know,
he'll just job to me.
Like, he's got no chance against me.
No, God. No.
So, you know, like
the fix is in. The fix is
perfectly canon top 8.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I mean, congrats to Mike on the win.
Yes,
and again, like, I do not underestimate like how. I mean, I guess you could say it was like. I mean, I'm sure he was at least thinking about it. I mean, because that thing is, even regardless of like the matchup, like. If he put the deck together, like if you know every card in your opponent's deck,
oh yeah,
I mean, you already have an advantage.
Yes,
I know. Like that's one of my issues when like testing is because like you know basically I have like 2 of us.
Yeah.
It's like I lose all these games because you know he knows exactly what attacks I run. And you know, so it's like you know what block sins to hold, you know what you really should block, you know what you don't really have to worry about blocking, and you just kind of know like all the little tricks as well.
Yeah.
So I think, like, you know, obviously Mike played well, like beat some good decks and tops, but I think once he got to finals, like he was really in like great shape.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my hat's off to him. I know he's been working on that deck for a while now. Because first in the chat he posted the Ovipositor meme. That's what it was. It was just a meme, and then it turned into this. And I think a lot of people, I don't know if everybody did, but I know the majority of players I talked to weren't really high on Ovipositor.
I still kind of don't like it, but
you know,
I mean, it has cardboard now, so
yeah, it has cardboard now, and so that gives Mike his second
obviously
character.
It's overpowered. We should ban it.
Oh yeah, whatever. It's all about Quan Chi actually, so Quan Chi needs to be banned. But after he wins US Nats, maybe there may be something on. Maybe I doubt it, but you know, we haven't had our US Nats show yet, so we'll have to make our bold predictions. Okay. So. But yeah,
I think
anything else on that?
Well, I think we were saying like the plan is to try to have some of the UK guys on to give us like kind of their takes.
Yeah, exactly. Mike
I know
Mike is on
probably
board.
like Mike and Dan coming back, and you know, see if we can get Rio as well, the hype man,
of the UK
UFS.
And, you know, shout outs to him and Shane Duckworth posting that hilarious picture of both of them just flexing really hard. I think that may end up turning into a meme every now. You know, this is just gonna grow with more shirtless people flexing. So you know, because we have the Premier Store meme now, which Mike carried on in his
there you go.
winter picture.
The mat with the sunglasses.
The sunglasses. That's the Premier Store meme now, and so he's carrying that on. So the bold tradition, he's taking the meme one step further and actually getting cardboard this time. So yeah. We're going to hopefully talk about teams with the UK guys a bit, with 2 of the 3 champions of 2.5 men.
Rio, I guess. Big Dan won last year, right?
Yeah.
He was with
Mike and Grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he won last year, and Rio had won either a year or 2 before. Had why am I blanking on the name of it now? Death Charge, yes.
It does not have death
which
or
has
charge
neither
on
death
it.
nor charge,
yep.
Yes.
I know Church yelled at him for that. I don't know if
the charge keyword existed when they designed it, so you know, who knows.
So. Should have had death on it, though.
But yeah, I mean, I guess one of the other storylines, UK can once again claim to not be free. They defended their cardboard this year. Good for them.
They did. Congrats.
But yeah.
I know there's some rumblings of some of them coming over for Worlds in the spring. So I know Oliver said something about it, and I don't know about anybody else, but I know Oliver said, and I think a few of the guys over there are going to be coming over. I know Mike had said something about if he's coming over, he's bringing his wife, so he's thinking about coming over and doing like a long trip out of it. So that'd be really great to see all of them again. I think that may close the episode. I don't think we have much else to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's.
You got anything coming up? Do you want to break the news about the?
I don't actually. The thing is, so yeah, the store that was in Pocoson that just had the PTC is apparently closing. I know no details about like why, what happened. It kind of seems out of the blue. I know that when I heard about it, I went and like checked their Facebook, and I think as recently as yesterday, they were talking about like, you know, that they were still planning to hold their events for like the next couple days, and then they might be like not holding stuff when the hurricane comes through. And then today they were just like, thanks for 3 years, like we're going to be closing. So, you know, not a lot of explanation. Wow. I haven't had time to get in touch with any of the players down there. I believe that there's another store in the area. You know, there's at least like another store where people play. I don't think it's a Premier store.
That's
I mean, I've never been there. I just know that there are players who were at the PTC who play at this other store.
Sure.
So it's possible that they will still be able to like maintain their play group. You know, they might just have to play somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of disappointing.
That sucks.
I mean, it was definitely a good store. You know, nice employees. Like, you know, it was a little bit Spartan but clean. You know, had products like.
Yeah.
But yeah. Such is the life of a game store, you know.
That is poopy. Yeah, no, I know Vegas. Like after, like once, like I think Jasco got out to Vegas, they had like 4 or 5, maybe 6 stores open and close within like the first year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, I mean, I know for a while they had like 3 or 4 places where they would play UFS, and I think they're just down to the one, right? Like the We Play West,
We
Play
so.
Or whatever it is,
whatever it's called. Yeah, as far as I think that's it. As far as I know out there.
So yeah, actually, I guess the one other thing too. I don't know if we talked about it too much. When I know that they were talking, like Jasco's sort of like slightly floated the idea of trying to get sort of like a judge program together.
Yeah.
And I know like the UK guys were talking about it. It like the general sense in like the people I've talked to and the last couple of events that I've been to is everybody just wants more opportunities to play and, you know, and play in like not just sort of like a Premier store. You know, they want sort of like the ability to have events that they can travel to like for a weekend and like play with like a little bit higher stakes.
Yep.
And it sounds like Jasco has some stuff in the works to try to accommodate that.
I
if
heard
they
that.
can, like that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, as salty and bitter as I am at times, you know, I would sort of relish the ability to play, you know, if I could get to an event like every like once or twice a month, you know, even if it was like a 3 or 4 hour drive or something like that, like stuff in like up in New York, Virginia, you know, Jersey, like, you know, just stuff on the East Coast. I mean, it'd be great. You know, I guess like you guys in the Midwest, like you have some stuff going, you know, with you. I guess like Kenosha has some stuff.
Yep.
I think were they the ones that said they had like a Premier store or something that like didn't happen at all? Or was that? I saw something about like this past weekend that somebody tried to do a Premier store thing and had like 3 or 4 people.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But I don't know where that was. It might have not been. It might have been one of the ones like that's kind of down in the South that's trying to get together.
Yeah.
But I mean, between like Indy and Chicago has some stuff. Like sounds like it's coming up.
Yeah.
And like even like some of the Detroit guys, I don't know if they have a store, but if they could get one, you know, you guys definitely have like the ability. You could probably like your circuit basically.
MCS.
I mean, like if you could do something like that was just like official events and everyone could just drive like, you know, 4 or 5 hours or 3 hours. I don't know how close you all are.
Oh, I think on average,
for me on the
it's
East
like 4.
Coast, like anything more than like 3 or 4 hours is kind of a long drive.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours. 5 to Michigan for sure. That's the time change, but yeah, it's usually about a 4 hour drive elsewhere.
But yeah, I mean, just stuff like that. I think people would really, enjoy it. Even
Yeah.
even if you might not quite hit like full PTC numbers of like 20, 25, whatever.
Yeah.
But I still think you could pretty easily get like 15 to 20 for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if they became so frequent, people would feel like less obligated to go to all of them, just because they're like, I'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
You don't want to oversaturate because you need to maintain the numbers, obviously, or the events basically won't pay for themselves.
And that was the issue with the PTCs happening twice a month, but now I've heard that they're thinking about bringing that back now.
So here's the thing. I don't think. I guess I think it's more that you need to be like a little more judicious with where you're putting them.
That's true.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, would there be anything wrong with like somewhere like Indy getting like 2 PTCs in a year? No. I mean, maybe you don't do them like back to back months.
No, you'd split.
I mean, you can have one in like April and one in October.
Yeah.
And like, guess what? I mean, they have like it's like if you have somewhere that has enough locals to basically like support a PTC on their own.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything wrong. Like, I mean, something like Omaha. I mean, they could probably have like 2 in a year.
Yeah. You just space them out and they'd be fine.
Yeah. And you just kind of like. I feel like you could schedule it. I don't hear too much about like the West Coast stuff. I mean, Vegas, California, something like that. But it sounds like there's players.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing ting too is like you could pretty easily have something like you could have like a Northern California PTC at the same time that you have like an Atlanta PTC.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the caveat is the way that they're running stuff now is it sounds like they want to have like an on-site JASCO person for like judging and stuff.
From what I've been hearing, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but
I mean, I know that they're sort of working.
They're working on a judge thing to where it's more
on a judge program.
Yeah, and that is instead of Shane being because Shane never wanted it. It would be 4 people that are approved through JASCO that would be your head judges, but they're not obligated to travel, but they'll be obligated to be on speed dial
on call or something.
On call for any. So you would have someone either at the store, kind of like how I did when I ran Rockford for the first few years, where I was the judge, but I was able to touch base with other people. You would have your TO/judge, who would probably be a certified judge most likely, because I think all TOs or all scouts will eventually have to be some sort of judge. And then that person will run the PTC unless a JASCO employee wants to come out or whatever.
Right.
But then you'd be able to get a hold of these people on call, and they would be your judge tribunal, I guess, in a way. So which is fine.
I think that's more just like that's kind of like I feel like the hurdle that needs to be overcome is just sort of like a bit of a more like you don't want. I think that the reason that they have Shane go to the events is because that's sort of like the easiest way to pretty much just guarantee that the rulings will be uniform.
Correct.
Like even if we don't always like agree with them, I mean, at least they're not going to change.
Exactly.
And they will be sort of like the way JASCO wants it to be.
No, that's fine. But eventually,
Well, because the thing is like, I mean, you know it just from like some of the locals and stuff. You'll just have stuff where it's like, oh well, like. We've been playing it like this. Yeah. And then you have like some other people it's like, oh, we've been playing it like this.
Yeah, that's rough.
And like you can't have tournaments like that.
No,
like you can't have something where like someone shows up to Worlds and they're like, well, I was at a tournament like last month and they said it worked like this. And then, the person is like, well, it works like this.
Yeah.
And like that's just it's it's bad. Yeah. You don't want that.
Which also brings up to I know Sean Kennedy's working on the website, and so maybe we'll get some more FAQ entries.
That sounds like something that it almost sounds like they're trying to put together like an Oracle type thing.
Oh,
almost
cool.
like a wiki page or something that will have cards and basically like associated rulings.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
A wider thing. Although that sounds like it's a bit off. I don't know if we're going to be getting that for a while.
Yeah. Because I know that the scout program is close to up and running. I know that, which is great because us who demo and all that stuff finally have a secondary resource other than our own stuff, which is great. So, which is awesome, which is much appreciated. But other than that, I don't, I have like that Premier Store event that I got to find out what I want to play. So I don't want to play. I don't know.
Let's play Cassie, dude.
Nah, Nathan wants to play Cassie, so I'm just.
She's top tier now.
She is. Maybe. she's at least B tier, man. She's at least, I think.
She's at least playable.
She's at least playable, which is more than what I think we thought at first. So, but no, congrats again to everyone who top 8'd. Congrats to Mike who won. I want to get out there to the UK sometime because this seems like a blast. So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it if, you can swing the time and the cost.
Yeah. Well, time isn't an issue. It's the money that's the issue. So, I get like 5 weeks of vacation. So,
yeah. I mean, just got the dogs and the wife, right?
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. If I go, I'm taking Kim with. That's the issue.
Yeah, okay.
So, must get her to play.
I mean, doesn't she have a job too?
Yeah, but yeah.
Can't you guys just make a vacation out of it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we plan on.
Or is she just gonna be like, I can't believe you're taking like 3 days of this vacation, you dick?
Yep. Just to go play cards. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, the other thing too is like it is definitely on like the north side of the country. So if you want to go someplace like right, if the idea is like, oh, we'll go to London and I'll just like hop up there for a couple days. Like
it's like a 4-hour drive, right? 4 or 6 hour drive.
I don't know. It felt like forever.
The last time I was there, I was driven around on a bus, so it didn't matter. So.
Yeah, no, when we went last year, I know it was Dave. I think Dave Hancock.
Picked you guys up.
Basically, like he came and picked us up. And then the way that our stuff was situated, we basically finished teams, packed, got some food, and he drove us from like Sheffield to the airport and turned around and drove. And he's just like, man, I just hope you guys can like, just some gas money or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we didn't know it was like a 4.5, 5 hour drive. Yeah. And then he has like traffic going back and like he's on like no sleep, like crushing energy drinks, and we were just like,
what an MVP.
These are like, here's gas money and here is whatever pounds I have left.
Yeah.
So thank you, and you are like a lifesaver.
Yeah, MVP right
but
there.
That's the thing is like I wouldn't want to put anyone through that again. It definitely sounds like the people who this year they
rode the train,
flew into like Manchester instead. Much better idea.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think on the next episode, which would probably be sometime next week, we'll talk to hopefully Dan. Maybe.
Are you not going to get a bunch of people on at the same time?
No, I want to. No, I am. No, I want to. I want to try to get all 3 of them on at the same time because that would just be amazing. And
they can just all talk over each other. It'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like how we do. Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm here. I'm the host. I have to direct people. So, And then Dan would just be a little smiley face with a thumbs up because he doesn't have a camera. So, But I'm really interested to see, like, I want to touch base with them and see, like, what their thought processes were, what they thought about the event. And even though everyone loved the event, but... Gotta
talk to Mike Hardiman and be like, so, Mike, how free was fine?
Yeah. But you know him. He probably wouldn't say that, but, But he may laugh a bit, but, They're polite.
I mean, there you go. So, once again, I lied. So the UK was free. It was just free to a UK player.
To UK player. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So I think we'll have. Wait, when's our Nats? The 19th,
October,
and 20th?
like 19th through 21st or something.
So we'll probably do the preview show the week beforehand. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Okay. I'm off the 12th, but I'm gonna go see Alexa Bliss in Chicago. So we may have to do it the weekend or whatever. We'll get a bunch of people on. Maybe we'll reconvene the very first episode of the. Was it
the council?
The council. Me, you, Kevin, and
Wagner. Didn't we?
Yeah, we had Wagner on.
Did we have like? Wasn't that when we were supposed to have J Ray and he was like too busy with like what was it, like Overwatch or something?
Yeah, he was streaming Hearthstone. Yeah. So maybe we'll get him on for this one and be like,
maybe we'll say that we'll get him on and then just not tell him when we go live and be like, you did it again.
We should. Now we're going to have to cut all this out because now we know our plan. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he knows our plan. Yeah, we don't tell him when we go live.
That's also true, yes. That's also true. Then he'll just be self-conscious from now on, and then we just give him crap. So, all right.
It's all right. He said I was tired.
All right. Okay. Well, good night, everyone. Have a good evening. Right. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.